Okay, made a little bit of progress. Fished the starter wire up. I am running a later model starter, a small one. Giving me a little bit more clearance on the bottom. I don't know if it's any good. It came with that motor I picked up for the roller cam one that's sitting in the garage. Hopefully it works. I got one trigger wire, I think, on there. And then the red that goes to the battery. And then I got a regulator sitting over here. And then essentially I'm just trying to figure out what wires are what. Engine-wise, I have those all laid out. That's super simple on these old ones. I got this, I got a temp sensor, oil pressure, coil, and then I got my distributor wire that's going to hook up on the coil. I just need to figure out the rest of these and what else I need to get this running, because I don't have any of the other ends of these connectors. The harness is still super intact, which is nice. I just don't know where all these little leads go. So if anybody has a Falcon wiring diagram, that would be great, because I've been basically laying out the alternator wiring with the extra harness I had off of that. Figured out that these go to there, then it goes from there into the regulator. Not positive on these other ones. Kind of comparing with the truck. It might actually be closer to look at the van, but just kind of laying out the mess of wires that are in the truck, since I've never gone through and rewired this either. I do not have a starter relay for the Falcon. I don't know if I need it on that new starter style. So that'll be something that I gotta kind of figure out as we get a little bit further along. The trans lines that I ran are fished down beneath the headers. I don't think you guys can see them down there somewhere. I was gonna do the rubber lines. I got a buddy coming over with his tool, the fancy flare tool. So he's gonna bring that by. I might be able to just run these up and just do a loop, 180 them up front, and then all I gotta do is plug them into the trans cooler whenever that shows up. Other than that, I got the thing jacked up again. I'm gonna start messing around with the fuel lines, try and see if I can get those at least plumbed up so I can just do a short little jumper section of rubber line from the hard line to the actual carb on the brand new fuel pump, since I don't have any of that hooked up. So hopefully those are the right size fittings. I think they are. I'm gonna check that. I got an extra fuel pump in the trunk, so I'm just gonna use that as a mock-up, see if all that lays out. Then I gotta figure out the gas pedal. I don't have a gas or a throttle cable, so that won't happen. Most likely not gonna get fired today like I was hoping. Looks nice out right now, but we got some big storms coming in. It rained all morning, so it's wet and miserable underneath the car. That's roughly where we're leaving off. I got the ignition in on the inside, and then it's really just gonna be a ton of chasing some wires and trying to figure out what's where. Get this thing close. I was gonna try to drop a battery in it and see, but I'll let you guys know. Well, we're back in the garage. Was gonna try and start the Falcon today. Did not work out. It is absolutely pouring outside. Let me see if I can pop this open. We got the fuel lines running. I had a buddy of mine come by, give me a hand running and bending up some flexi lines. Fuel lines are in. I got a couple rubber mounts I gotta do. Look at this hurricane that's happening outside. It's the Midwest, so it's not really a hurricane, but it is absolutely torrentially downpouring right now. So, buddy came by and helped me run those lines, rebuilt the passenger side of the brakes. I still got to do the crossover line from the soft rubber line to the rear end. We can do that later. Not that big of a deal. He helped me lay out everything. It's been a while since I've done any drum brake stuff, so he came by, gave me a hand. Passenger side rear brake is done. Front brakes are still working. I popped the cap off the master cylinder. That's still closing, still full of fluid. When I pulled apart the rears, lost all the brake fluid in the rear. So essentially I got to move the thing over to the middle of the driveway, finish up basically duplicating the Rock Auto parts that I put into the rear end on the driver's side. Also, weird little facet, not that it's that big of a deal, because I did buy the right and the left for the hardware kit. Hardware kit came, they were both stamped, and it said right side, left side, and they both had an R and an L on them. Absolutely backwards. Same goes for the brake hub adjuster. That was also wrong. So quality Chinese parts, they fit, they were just labeled wrong. So even the pressed stamp in the casting said left side, right side. Those were wrong too. Made it work. We're else are we at? I got the lock cylinder fixed. These are the new Mustang leaf springs that will be going in, hopefully. From what I was able to kind of sort of research, these should be really close. I think they're the same width. They're just the wrong length. They're a little bit shorter than the stock Falcon ones. But I also have 3-inch shackles in the car. So I'm hoping that if I kick the shackles forward, these leaf springs will work. The ones that are in the car are absolutely shot. They're 6-cylinder, not holding up to the 9-inch rear end weight or the 302 up front. What I priced out in terms of getting brand new ones, I looked. I know everybody says like, oh, get the Eaton springs, get the nice ones. Can't afford it. I'm nowhere near close to affording that. I'm going to spend more on leaf springs than I am for the entire car. Can't justify it. So Mustang springs will work one way or another. I did check the front eyelet bolts with the bushing that's pressed in. It does line up. It's the same size as what I have in there, so that should work. If I gotta cut, hack, weld, whatever, that's how you do this, because I'm poor. Other than that, brake lines are in. Ran fuel lines from the tank forward. I was gonna run a mechanical pump on that. I had a free Holly. It was gifted to me by somebody, I don't remember when or how long. It's probably been on the shelf for 3-4 years. But I had a brand new Holly fuel pump. I think I'm gonna ditch that idea. I'm gonna do a block off plate, put an electric fuel pump in just to get it running driving down the road. If I wanna switch it back forward or switch it back to a mechanical at some point, we will do that too. Down the line, but right now in terms of ease of maintenance, ease of getting it started, broken in, the electric pump makes a lot more sense. So I'm gonna run to the parts store, order up a cheapo Holly or Edelbrock or whatever brand they sell off the shelf, the generic electric fuel pump. That's gonna go in underneath the car. I'm gonna cut the fuel line, do a couple little rubber line passes, and send that as our fuel system for the time being. Again, I don't want to sink a ton of money into trying to dial in the fuel system because, and this is me getting way ahead of myself and my ADD brain not being able to focus, I have all the Explorer intake stuff, I have all the stock intake stuff with actual fuel injectors, get rid of carburation. I love carburetors, but I really want to add boost to this thing, and if I'm going to do that, I'm going to run the EFI stuff. I don't really want to do an EFI sniper. If I can do if I can utilize the stock Explorer GT40 stuff that I have, they flow way better, and I have 80% of the parts minus the electronic stuff, other than a couple of the parts that we bought. A couple of the other things I was noodling around with today, but just a quick update for you, and we'll catch you later this week. Hopefully I can make a little bit more progress, and ideally the goal was to start this car today. Not even close to that happening. We're gonna postpone that till next Sunday, and if all goes as planned, I should be able to get it fired up and started. Break the cam in, see if the motor grenades. If it does, we got a backup. If it doesn't, then we're just gonna keep chipping away at the rest of it. Drive shaft is gonna be the longest part, but ideally try and get it running, driving, ready to go. That's all I got. Have a good one, guys.